Here we go. We got a big time show, ladies and gentlemen. This is I Love You Say It Back. It's a podcast. Wednesday Wisdom is back. Turn it up. Thank you. I see you, baby. Oh, welcome in. Huge show. I Love You Say It Back. It's a podcast. I'm your host, Vic D. And thank you so much for making us a part of whatever it is that you got going on this beautiful Thursday. The weather is outside is kind of perfect right now. It's in between that, during the day, don't get me wrong. It's already too hot during the day. But I think at nighttime, I think it starts to get real lovely. And it's funny that this is when I should be taking advantage of my runs. And if I don't hit I don't know how many miles tonight, I'm not going to hit 100. And that is the first time all year. So I've got a lot to do tonight. But we'll start with this podcast. Thank you once again. I'm trying to pick myself up off the mat. The Lakers just got booted from the playoffs. 4-1 Minnesota Timberwolves. And I mean, look, hey, we don't have to talk about how much money we had on the line. I just know it's not pretty. Man, things are not looking good. But Lakers suck. The Luka can't play defense. LeBron's old as dirt. It's so funny when things go bad. It's like everything's Rudy Gobert cooked us and get rid of everything. I hate it, man. So now we got to wait a whole year. I'm not going to talk Lakers, but I will say, this is the only thing I will say. This wasn't the year that the Lakers were going to win the championship. I don't care if they made it past this round or not. They were not going to win. They need to retool. We need more big men. Anyways, let's get into what we're going to be talking about today. One of my favorite shows that we've done. This is the best show we've done in this studio. I'm just going to call it right now. Best show that we've done in this studio, at the brand new studio. So I'm excited for you guys to be listening to this one. What kind of podcast would we be if we didn't address the viral conversation that's happening? Who would win in a fight? 100 unarmed men or one silverback gorilla? And I'm not going to lie to you. When I first heard this, I laughed. I was like, this isn't a real conversation. People aren't serious about this, right? And turns out people are. And in fact, they disagree with me, which is wild. We'll get into that. I got your fun facts here in case you didn't know. PETA made a stop in Bakersfield. And I have one thing to say about that. So we'll get into that. I got to shut the fuck up of the week. And of course, we're going to be bringing back our Wednesday Wisdom conversation. That is, highly anticipated. We've been talking about bringing this back for a long time. And I will say something real quick. That when you submit your questions over to our socials at ILYSayItBackPod or myself at Vic D Radio, we get a lot of questions. I'd say probably 85 to 90% of the questions, I talked about this before, are relationships. I got cheated on. Should I give him another chance? I'm heartbroken. It's okay to mix it up. We are going to be hitting on those because those are some of the most related. There's a reason why we get those questions the most frequently, but it's okay to switch it up. And so we're going to be getting into one about pictures. So we'll get into that. Wednesday Wisdom back. Jack in the Box is closing 150 to 200 stores. I have a theory on why they're going to be closing because I didn't know that they were struggling. I didn't know that Jack in the Box was struggling like that. So let's get into it. Actually, I want to give a big shout out to our boys, Define. They sent us a sweet little package. I got a video for them. They sent us a box of good stuff. So I'll be showing you what they sent us. They sent us some Define, some swag, some hoodies, some merch, a shaker cup, all that good stuff. So big shout out, Define. We don't do a podcast without it. You can get it, pick it up. Rev Nutrition. You mention the podcast, get you 25% off your order. So big show. Let's get right into it. All right. I feel like I have to start with this because when I first heard this question, who would win in a fight? 100 unarmed men or a silverback gorilla? Before I even answer, I thought this was not a rhetorical question. I thought this was like a joke. I thought people were just throwing it out there like, oh, like we all know the obvious answer. Turns out nobody that I've talked to about this agrees with what I think. 100 unarmed men, 100 men, or one silverback gorilla. I don't give me 100 men, 100 out of 100 days, and twice on Sunday. I didn't even think it was close. I thought everybody was going to unanimously agree that 100 men would be able to take out one silverback gorilla. Let me clarify this. I don't believe that it would be an easy thing. I don't believe that we'd walk out of there without some dead bros. We'd lose some fellas. We'd lose some limbs. We'd lose some heads. We'd lose some. There'd be some feet dangling. There would be some guts and brains, and you know what I'm saying? But are you kidding me? 100, gorilla, silverback gorilla, I looked this up, is only about 5 to 10 times stronger than one man. I don't even think it's close to 10. I think it's like 5-6 times stronger than men. You tell me I get 100 guys? Can I tell you something? Between you and me, I don't even think it would take 100. This is the crazy part. I don't even think it would take 50. I think if you go into it and you're strategic, hey, 2 guys are going to grab these legs. Now, don't get me wrong. You have to have riders. You have to have dudes who are ready to die. Like, you're not just going in there for shits and gigs. You're going in there for a mission. For whatever reason, let's say this gorilla is going to be taking over the world. And if we don't stop it now, nip it in the butt, pop. Me and my boy are going to grab the left leg. You and your boy are going to grab the other left leg. This is assuming these are like healthy, somewhat in shape, normal dudes. I'm not talking about UFC fighters. We're talking about normal dudes. I think it would take, I don't even know if it would take 25, 30. Is that stupid? It seems like I'm the only one who thinks this. I don't think it would take 100 at all. I think 100's a luxury. You could send waves and waves and waves. Okay, you could take shifts. How dirty are we getting? Are we grabbing the balls? Are we, you just go attack for the weakness? Like, what is that? I think this is easy, folks. Don't get me wrong. The first few dudes who are going to be attacking, what's that Lord Farquaad thing? Some of you may die, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. Yeah, there's going to be some dead bodies. But if I go in there, grab the left leg, you go in there and another buddy grab the right leg, and then you start grabbing limbs. You got 8 to 10 dudes just on limbs alone. And then you just get dudes who are just going to be molly-whopping this dude in his face. And they got strong jaws. They're going to be able to take blood. They're going to be biting. They're going to be... But I don't think that it would take 100 guys at all. And I didn't think that I was going to have to bring this up. I thought it was just kind of a rhetorical question. Like, hey, 100 men or one gorilla? It's like, one gorilla? Just one gorilla? 100 guys? Man, that's easy. I don't know if I'm being an idiot or if I'm like, where there's like guys believe that they're like way better or way more like irrational confidence about things. I don't know if that's one of those situations, but I don't think that it would take 100 men to beat one gorilla. That was just a viral conversation that was going on. And it wasn't until I posted it and talked about it with some friends that I realized, like, everybody's on the side of, yeah, one gorilla is going to take out 100 guys. We're not coming at them one by one. We're not going like in movie villains when they go up to John Wick and fight him like, and then you're attacking all at the same time. And you're sending waves and waves and waves and waves. They can't keep up. Give me 100 men any day. I wrote my notes a little different on this paper, and I'm not going to lie to you folks. I'm looking at this stuff, and I was like, what the hell did I write? Look at this. Can you see that? These are my notes, and I can't even read them. That's sad. This is the first time this has happened. I wrote this yesterday, so I prepped the show all of yesterday. I was supposed to record yesterday, but didn't get a chance to. I feel like I've been busy the last couple of days. Update on my Wordle. So if you saw the video, I hit 100 in a row on Wordle. What a good feeling. It's, what it was like? I hit 100 and it wasn't like, I was hoping that it would be some kind of like, You know, when your phone, when you send like happy birthday to someone and they're like happy birthday and it automatically sends like confetti and all that shit. And there was none of that. I didn't get no celebration. No. So it's kind of like, for some reason, this episode of Arthur always stuck with me. Remember, some of you guys remember Arthur, where they stayed up all night until, I think it was Arthur. They stayed up all night until midnight on New Year's Eve. And they're like, all right, it's New Year's Eve. And then it's midnight and it's like, it's New Year's Day. And they were expecting some grand party or something great to happen. That's how I felt. I was like, okay, so nobody's going to wake up and congratulate me like it's my birthday. Nobody's going to celebrate and we're not throwing a party. Like my iPhone's not going to send confetti and anything. But I did hit 100, did feel good. It's more of, this is what I always tell people. Hitting 100 on Wordle's not very difficult. So don't get me wrong. Some words are difficult. You got to think a little bit outside the box. So getting it right isn't the hard part. Because a lot of streaks don't end because it's hard. A lot of streaks end because you break out of your routine, right? So let's say I'm on vacation and normally I do it it's the first thing I do every single day or every morning. I always joke, like I got to be in the top like 1% of people who finish the Wordle. I'm like midnight, boom. But when you break out of that routine, you're on vacation, you go snowboarding, you're on a girls trip, you're whatever it is, you break out of your routine and suddenly you're drinking at midnight and you forget about Wordle. So it's more about the consistency, about sticking with it and staying with it and, staying up with it. So proud of that. And so I've been busy with that. I got a lot done today too. I know a lot of you guys are running around right now in your cars and, hopefully listening to this. Thank you for listening to us, by the way. Like, subscribe. I was supposed to mention this at the top of the podcast. Like, subscribe on YouTube, on everywhere. We're starting to put out a little bit more content and things like that. So tell your friends, share it with your people. Tell us to follow us on IG at ICYDK. We got some merch on the way. In fact, I did a little mini shoot with my sister today. She was helping me out with how the hats are going to be looking. So excited to bring you that. And also I went to TJ Maxx. What's funny is that, so in Bakersfield, there's a TJ Maxx. We have one on Stockdale. So, most of the people who listen are here in Bakersfield. So you know what I'm talking about. There's a TJ Maxx and then there's a Nordstrom Rack. And I realized that I have like a TJ Maxx strategy when I go into that shopping center. I will always hit TJ Maxx first because it's cheaper, right? I don't have any doubt of I'll browse and I'm like, I didn't find anything, nothing good. Then I'll go to Nordstrom Rack and then I'm like, well, if I find something, I already looked in the place that's cheaper, so I'll buy this. Now, if I go to Nordstrom Rack first, then I'm like, well, what if I find something comparable at TJ Maxx that's even cheaper? So I realized that I have a little strategy. So our Marshalls is really close to the mall. If I need to find something specific, I'm looking for like a white t-shirt or socks or whatever it is, and then I'll go to Marshalls first, no doubt. And then I'll go to the mall just because I'm like, oh, let me just make sure that there's nothing there that I'm missing before I go and overspend, possibly. I don't know why I just went on that tangent, but it's funny. I was talking to my sister about it today, and I was like, hey, do you have a TJ Maxx strategy? Because I do. And I felt like a genius. And she's like, yeah, Victor, everyone does that. And I was like, okay, well, shit. What else do we got here? So here's just a little quick fun story. And this is not anything to do with really much of the podcast. I just wanted to bring it up because it was funny. I was on Facebook the other day and I saw that PETA, the people who are all for the animals and stuff like that, they stopped by Bakersfield, and this isn't a pro PETA or against PETA. I love animals too. But here's what I will say. PETA, know your audience. PETA, know who you're talking to. PETA, know what city you're going to. This is not the place to be pulling up. Go to LA. Go to the rich, fancy, bougie areas who go vegan and all that stuff. Bakersfield is not the place for PETA. They stopped by, and there was a news report about about them pulling up to a barbecue joint here in Bakersfield. And then you just look at the comments on Facebook and everybody's, well, now I'm going to go get me some good old barbecue. You know what sounds delicious? Some pork ribs. And like, again, I'm not pro or against it. I love barbecue, but I also love animals. Don't really care. Not my business. All I'm saying is know your audience. PETA, it was a mistake to come here. It literally did the opposite of what you wanted. There was videos where people were outside of the big PETA truck outside of the barbecue shop, and they were taking pictures with the truck. They're like, "Look, hey, PETA." PETA, know your audience. Not a smart move. I'm not sure who the hell thought I was like, let's go down to a little town in the middle of California and a little farm town. I'd say we're somewhat of a farm town, farm area. Know your audience, PETA. There's places for you. There absolutely is. And I also don't like, here's what I will say. I don't like going to small businesses and like shaming them for it. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, I'm kind of glad that it backfired. It's like, the fuck are you doing? It's a wild thing. What else do we got here? Let's get into your fun facts. Let's get into some in case you didn't know. Still got to work on the pads. The pads for this. And by pads, I mean like this. This is like when I hit a pad. I should do that every time I see something funny. These are your fun facts here in case you didn't know. If you got some good ones, feel free to submit them. What if I sat like this? Can I be honest with you? I sit like this a lot more than I'm willing to admit. Like I'm pretending like I'm like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I did this? But it is really how I do it. I'm just kind of testing the waters. I'm like, how funny, how weird would it be if I actually sat like this? I cross my legs a lot. Like a president. All right, let's get into your fun facts. These are your fun facts here in case you didn't know. All right, in case you didn't know, sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins due to their slow like metabolism. That just their body moves so slow that it's just like, yeah, nothing going on. We don't need much of it. In case you didn't know. In case you didn't know, chewing gum does not stay in your system for 7 years. While it is not digestible, it passes normally like other non-digestible things. In case you didn't know. And finally tonight, in case you didn't know, this I always found kind of fascinating. Space isn't actually that far away. Like to get into outer space, like zero gravity stuff, is only about 62 miles up in the sky. The moon and planets and all that stuff is what's actually far. I was looking at I told you I cannot read my handwriting. I was like, why the hell does it say moon is far, But yeah, space, not that far. What's far is like, you're talking about Saturn, the moon, Venus, Mercury, all that stuff, the sun, that's far. But to get into actual outer space, not very far. Those are your fun facts in case you didn't know. Ladies and gentlemen, is it time? Should we get into it now? I got one more story about Jack in the Box closing. And I actually have a theory on why. It was something that they did not see coming. But right now I'm going to pull out my phone because we're going to get into Wednesday Wisdom. And I want to do it. I'm trying kind of breezing through this podcast a little bit because I didn't know how much time we're going to spend on Wednesday Wisdom, and I wanted to make sure that that we had enough time, and I didn't want to like rush through it. All right, by the way, you can check this out on our socials at ICYDK We'll be able to post that on there. And so I'm very excited to be bringing this back. This is I think this is one of the most popular things when I was back in the radio. This is one of the things that was one of the segments that really stood out, right? It became interactive for you. A lot of you submitted these questions. Therefore, you were already engaged. You told your friends, you told your family, like, I asked this question, he's going to talk about it tonight. And so that was kind of cool because you were invested. And then people, I'll be honest with you, people are just kind of nosy. They love, chiming in on other people's dramas. They love talking about, oh my gosh, what are other people going through, all this and that. So This is the Wednesday wisdom that we're going to be kicking things off with. Here we go. Hi, Vic. I'm glad you're bringing this back. Okay. So I'm dating someone. This is a female, by the way. Okay. So I'm dating someone who doesn't like taking pictures, like at all. That's totally fine, but it's getting to the point where we're getting into arguments, even if I suggest we capture the moment. He says I'm just doing it for likes, and he tells me to, quote, live in the moment. I feel like I'm being shamed for wanting to capture a moment. I'm like, okay, we can live in the moment, but also take pictures. We aren't going to have any memories. How do I tell him this? Or do you see this as an eventual deal breaker? And they finish by saying, thank you for bringing this back. We love being nosy. That nosy thing is something that people told me from even back in the radio. They were like, it's just nice, like, we love being nosy. So here's the situation. Dating this guy, I did go on and ask. He said it's been about 4 to 5 months. And it's funny because we posted it and just on our story, but we'll post it on the big feed tomorrow. But had a lot of people saying like, oh, this guy doesn't like taking pictures, no big deal. And then you had other people who were like, yeah, this guy's got a secret family out there somewhere that he doesn't want pictures of himself to be out there. I'm not going to think it's that far. I'm not going to take it that far. I'm going to go under the assumption that this is simply just a person who is very Bakersfield, right? So what do we think? Do we think that this is an eventual deal breaker? Girl loves taking pictures. I didn't know. She's got like a little over 1,000 followers. So it's not like she's like an influencer, but she does have like a following on IG. And this guy does not. She's dating this guy. People who love taking pictures of everything. Not everything that you post is necessary, or not every picture you take is necessarily one that you're going to post. This is my thoughts on it. Here is your Wednesday wisdom. And there's a lot of layers to this, of course. To what extent this is and all that, I think we got a pretty good idea. But my main takeaway from all of this is simply that the pendulum has swung way too far in the direction of like people wanting to take pictures. People wanted to take pictures, to post and all this stuff. I have no problem. I love when people take pictures. Ask me to take your picture anytime, anywhere. I will gladly do it for you. You want 10? You want 15? I'm going to go pop, 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 pop. I'm going to get you a good one. We're going to get you a good one. But I think the pendulum has swung so far where everybody's like, as soon as you pull your phone out and suggest, hey, we should take a picture of this. We're at the beach. We're at a concert. We're at a whatever it is. Now people are just like, look at you. You're not even living in the moment. Huh. I'm so cool. I don't even like pulling out my phone. I like to live in the moment. I'm going to remember it right here. First of all, shut the fuck up. That's annoying. The pendulum has swung way too far. Go look at your parents' photo albums. They took all those pictures too. But now because they didn't have the phones and it wasn't like, oh, there wasn't social media to post them anywhere. Nobody shamed them. Everybody loves taking pictures. Everybody had to take pictures. This is how you have those memories to look back on. We even had a conversation after I wrote her back and I was like, hey, how serious, is it like, hey, it's going good. We're starting out. But I was like, what if you get to the point, I don't know if I mentioned this to her, but I thought about this. I was like, what if you get to the point where, let's say in a year or two or whatever, let's say things go good. Like, maybe you fall in love. Maybe he falls in love. Maybe things are looking like it's heading down the road of marriage or whatever it is. And all of a sudden, we don't have any pictures to post on a montage. We don't have any pictures to share. Capturing a moment is absolutely beautiful. And if you can't take a damn picture to capture a moment, to capture a trip, to capture anything, stop playing too damn cool. You're not that fucking cool. I don't ask for pictures. Oh my gosh, I live in the moment. Shut the fuck up. You know what bothers me too is when people go to concerts and then they take a Instagram story post or something, and then people are just like, huh, you weren't even enjoying, you were just watching through your phone. you do realize that a damn Snapchat or a Instagram story is literally like 60 seconds max. Have you ever been to a concert, sweetheart? A concert is minimum 3 hours. You're telling me that because I took 5 minutes worth of Instagram stories, suddenly I didn't enjoy it? I think it's become just the cool thing to say. I like to live in the moment in a world. I think it's a very Bakersfield thing too. Take the damn pictures. Take the damn pictures. You know what you start doing? Even if he doesn't want to take them, be like, all right, take them of me. Is this an eventual deal breaker? I think is the big question. I think it could be. And I know that's not like a very like positive or, you know, whatever spin, because these things are not just going to show up as, I don't want to take the picture, the argument, the shaming. It's almost like they're being condescending anytime they want to act too cool. They want to be like, got another picture. That in the moment, not that big of a deal. But that starts showing up in other ways, in disrespectful ways. And they say when you go to therapy, don't ask me how I know this. They say one of the greatest tells of if a relationship is going to succeed or not is respect, simple respect. I may not like taking the pictures. I may not like taking photos. I may not like posting. I may not like social media. I understand that. But to flat out start shaming somebody for wanting to take it, even if you're not into it, think about this in relationships. How many things do you do for your partner that you're not necessarily into? I'm not into pottery classes. I'm not into, sourdough baking class. Whatever it is, there's a lot of things that we do and a lot of exceptions that we make for the people that we love. So if you're at a point already where they're like shaming you for this. This is 4 months in, ladies and gentlemen. I think this starts to show up in different ways. It's not always going to be the picture disrespect. It's going to start, okay, he doesn't like this. Okay, well, I didn't take the picture. Now I don't have to do this because with that, you know how I am. You know I don't like it and I'm not going to do it. So the picture thing itself isn't necessarily the deal breaker. It's the lack of respect when you want to take a picture, to shame somebody for wanting to do it. I may not like taking pictures, but I'll take one. We're on a trip. We're in Mexico. We're hiking in Colorado. We're in Montana. We're in wherever you vacation. You wouldn't want to capture those moments. They're beautiful moments to look back on. And I know it sounds cool to be like, oh, I was living in the moment. You know, now you got nothing to look back on. Now you got no memories of that. And it may be silly, but think about this. If you end up getting married, you always love seeing those montages at weddings where they just put all those pictures together and they're like, this is our love story. This is us and this is 4 months into our relationship. This is a year into our relationship. This is 2 years into our relationship. And it was beautiful. This is how we got here. This is how we fell in love. Look at us. This is us when we were young. Now we're 75 and 80 years old. And we're old and wrinkly, but this is us when we were young and beautiful. Old people are beautiful too. It's just a different kind of beautiful. So I think he's either going to make an exception and kind of adjust to, or at least respect the fact that you want to take these pictures. If not, I think it's going to show up in other ways and you're going to end up breaking up anyways. That is your Wednesday wisdom. 50 is spoken. That felt good. That felt real good. So that's another thing that we got to add. So when I did that on the radio, we had a little, like a wisdom bed. It was like old, like, I don't know, like drums, like it was like my wisdom sound. I got to find a way to bring that on one of these pads. But keep submitting those questions. Again, a lot of the questions that we got are very similar. So if you guys have some off the wall questions or something that you want to talk about, we'll be glad to bring it up here on the show and talk about it. So I saw this story and I thought it was interesting. I thought it was just fun. I didn't know that Jack in the Box was struggling like this. So it turns out that Jack in the Box is getting ready to close 150 to 200 underperforming stores all across the United States. I mean, people do this. Businesses do this. That's not weird. That's not, But I have a theory on why this whole thing happened. And I want to blame the Dodgers. And to an extent, maybe not so much, but I think the Lakers have a little something to do with this. It's all fun and games to go give away those little jumbo jacks. Hey, free jumbo jacks with 7 strikeouts. Hey, free jumbo jack if the Lakers or the Dodgers put up a certain amount of runs. Hey, if we hold them to 0, if we keep them, free tacos, free jumbo jacks. Oh, it's all fun and games until the Lakers or the Dodgers go out and get Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani, Max Muncy. You get some other dudes from her. It's all, they're like, shit, man, we were giving away these offers, and then they go and load up the Avengers, and now we're giving away free jumbo jacks every other day. Did the Dodgers put Jack in the Box out of business on some of these? Are they closing them down? They're like, hey, we thought it was a cool deal. We didn't know you guys were going to put together the Avengers. Mookie Betts, Tyler Glasnow, Shohei Ohtani. I mean, absolute star-studded. And then they're like, damn, we thought this was going to be like maybe a once a week, maybe once every couple, a few times a month. We're giving away free jumbo jacks every night. Lakers I'm pissed off about, but whatever. They ended up getting Luka. I'm sure there was a couple free taco nights in there. Hey, everybody gets free tacos. Yeah. Like when they're at the end of the Laker games and everybody's like, we want tacos. We want tacos. I think the Lakers and the Dodgers have something to do with all these damn Jack in the Boxes having to close. Put together the damn Avengers, and all of a sudden it's just, oh, this isn't so funny anymore. Hey, what do we do? Like, we signed this contract. We have to give away these free jumbo jacks. That kind of sucks, but I will say this. A jumbo jack. We talked about this with when we were at Upmarket, which, by the way, they just celebrated their 1-year anniversary. Big shout out to them. We talked about like roadies. A jumbo jack, and on the app, forgive me for saying this if I sound like a total fat ass. On the jumbo jack, on the Jack in the Box app, you can get 2 jumbo jacks for $5. That's a deal, folks. I'll probably be getting out of here and going to get a couple of jumbo jacks. Maybe not, because I'm not that hungry. But jumbo jacks are an absolute elite roadie. Remember the definition of roadie. A roadie is just a burger that you grab, you eat. You take half of the wrapper, half of the panties off. I go extra ketchup, no cheese. Keep it nice and neat. You just eat it, no disrespect or no respect. You just kind of go in for it, Before you get to the next light, it's halfway done. Before you get home, there's no evidence. And a jumbo jack is an elite roadie. McDoubles are good. They tend to get a little bit messy the way I order them, simply because I like to get Maxx sauce on them. But yeah, elite roadies for the jumbo jacks. I got one more story here. Here's something I noticed. Before we get into our trivia question for the night to wrap up the show. Okay, so I noticed this, and I think you guys are absolute freaks for this. So I noticed that a lot of you guys watch TV, your TV shows, at night with the freaking lights on. Yo, wait, what? You guys are posting your IG stories, and you're like this, pointing at the TV screen with your little hot chocolate or whatever you're having before bed. And the freaking lights are on, like what do we do? Like you're lighting up a podcast studio. I'm like, what the hell's going on? You got to turn those off. The only proper way to watch TV, a new TV show, a movie, a Netflix documentary, is with all the lights off. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you have a light on while you're watching your TV show at night, you might as well crank up that lawnmower and start mowing the lawn and right outside of the window. I don't know how to explain it, but it's damn near the same thing. Lights on while watching a TV show? You guys are savages. Absolute. I don't even watch that much TV, but I know the rules. I at least know how to do it right. I'm not very good at basketball, but I know I can't travel. I can do it right. And it boggles my mind that a lot of you guys are like, yeah, I watch so much TV. I watch this. You got to turn the lights off. It's sickening. It ruins my day. I'm like, a documentary, a TV show, movie with the lights on. I'm going to go crank the lawnmower and just mow just a little patch outside of your window. To me, that's how it's the equivalent of that. That's my shut the fuck up. I know it's not so much of a shut the fuck up, but it's more of like it's like a don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. All right, let's wrap up the show. What a fun show. I've had a lot of fun with this one. This one's funny. All right, here we go. Here's our trivia question. Remember, pause if you guys want some more time to think about it, discuss it amongst the people in your cars. 30% of parents say that they would do this if they knew that their kids would not catch them. I repeat, 30% of parents say they would do this if they knew their kids wouldn't catch them. What is it? Spoiler alert, I'm about to give the answer. Turn me off if you don't want to know. All right, 30% of parents say that they would do this if they knew their kids wouldn't catch them. Take their money. Take money from them. Like, yeah, I got a little piggy bank, and it's okay because let's be honest, like that's all your money anyways. It's all your birthday money. They're not even keeping count of it. They don't even know how much is in there. It's $400. I can take a little hundo. They're not gonna notice. Hey, they're too dumb to know. 30% of parents said that they would do this if their kids wouldn't catch them. Take their money. Thank you guys so much for listening. The Lakers suck. I hate it here. But don't forget to check us out all over socials at ICYDK Pod. I'm at Victory Radio. Check out our YouTube. Check out our Instagram. Check out everywhere. Like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. It might not feel like it's a big difference or a big deal, but you get those alerts every single time we drop a new episode. And I'm not going to say it now, but we could be working on some stuff to add more to the show. So make sure you keep up with all that good stuff going on. And thank you guys so much for rocking and rolling with us. Absolutely had a lot of fun doing this one. Y'all have a great night. Sleep good. Que sueñen los angelitos. I love you. Say it back. It's the podcast.